It was 7:03 a.m. on a cold Tuesday morning when the first email hit Pam Bondi's inbox. The subject line was blank, and the sender's name was a jumble of letters and numbers. She almost deleted it. Almost. But something about the timestamp caught her eye. It had been sent at exactly 3:33 a.m. 3 threes. A coincidence? Maybe. But Pam had spent too many years as a prosecutor to believe in coincidences. She opened it. The message was short, just 2 lines. You think you know the truth, but you don't even know the half of it. Below that was a link. No signature, no context, just a hyperlink that glowed faintly against the white screen. Her finger hovered over the trackpad. Clicking it could be a mistake. It could be a trap. But not clicking it? That could be a bigger one. She clicked. The bottom link led to a video. Grainy, shaky, clearly filmed on a phone. The footage showed a dimly lit room, concrete walls, a single flickering bulb hanging from the ceiling. In the center of the room was a chair, and in the chair was a man, bound and gagged, his face bruised and swollen. Pam leaned closer, squinting. She didn't recognize him, not at first. But then the camera zoomed in, and her breath caught. It was Senator Curtis Halbridge. The video cut out after 12 seconds, leaving Pam staring at a black screen. Her heart pounded. What the hell was this? A prank? A threat? A warning? She replayed it twice, 3 times, looking for clues. There were none. Just Halbridge, battered and silent, his eyes wide with fear. She closed her laptop and sat back, her mind racing. This wasn't just about Halbridge. This was about her. The email had been sent to her. Why? By 9 a.m., Pam was in her office, the video pulled up on her desktop. She'd already called Deidre, her communications director, who was now pacing the room, her heels clicking against the hardwood floor. We need to call the FBI, Deidre said, her voice tight. This is way above our pay grade. Pam shook her head. Not yet. We don't even know what this is. If we bring in the feds, it'll leak, and then we're dealing with a media circus. Let's think this through. Deidre stopped pacing and turned to her. Think it through? Pam, there's a video of a sitting U.S. senator tied to a chair. This isn't a think it through situation. This is a call the authorities situation. Pam leaned forward, her elbows on the desk. And say what? That we got an anonymous email with a link to a video? We don't even know if it's real. It could be staged. It could be deep fake. We need more information before we start sounding alarms. Deidre sighed, running a hand through her hair. Okay, fine. But what's the play here? What are you going to do? Pam didn't answer right. Away. She was still staring at the frozen image on her screen, Halbridge's face, bruised and bloodied. She didn't like the man. He was arrogant, self-serving, and his grandstanding during the hearing had been infuriating. But this was something else entirely. Whoever had sent this video wasn't just targeting Halbridge. They were sending a message. And Pam had a sinking feeling that message was meant for her. By noon, the story had started to unravel in ways Pam couldn't have anticipated. She'd spent the morning digging, reaching out to contacts in law enforcement, in the intelligence community, even a few old friends in the media. What she found was troubling. Halbridge had been missing for 2 days. His staff had reported him absent from a scheduled event in Portland, but they'd assumed he'd simply blown it off. He'd done that before. But now it looked like something far more sinister. Pam's phone buzzed. It was a text from an unknown number. You're getting closer, but you're still not asking the right questions. She stared at the screen, her stomach churning. Who was this? And what did they want from her? She typed back, Who is this? The response came almost immediately. Someone who knows what you're capable of. Don't disappoint me. She set the phone down, her hands trembling. This wasn't just about Halbridge. This was a test, a game, and she was the player. The question was, what were the rules? By 3 p.m., Pam was in her car, driving toward an address she'd gotten from a source she wasn't entirely sure she could trust. It was a warehouse on the outskirts of D.C., a place that didn't show up on any maps. The sky was overcast, the air thick with the promise of rain. She parked a block away and walked the rest, her coat pulled tight against the wind. The warehouse loomed ahead, its windows dark, its doors chained shut. She circled the building, looking for a way in. There was a side door, slightly ajar. She pushed it open and stepped inside. The interior was dim, the air heavy with the smell of dust and mildew. She moved cautiously, her eyes adjusting to the darkness, and then she saw it. In the center of the room was a chair, the same chair from the video, but it was empty. She approached it slowly, her heart pounding. There was something on the seat, a piece of paper. She picked it up and unfolded it. The message was short. "You're getting warmer, but time's running out." She crumpled the paper in her fist, her mind racing. This wasn't just a game, this was a race, and she was running out of time. By 7 p.m., Pam was back in her office, the pieces of the puzzle starting to come together. Halbridge had been investigating a shadowy network of private contractors with ties to the government. They were involved in everything from surveillance to black ops, and they didn't like being scrutinized. Pam had stumbled onto something big, something dangerous, and now she was in the middle of it. Her phone buzzed again, another text. "You're almost there, but are you ready for the truth?" She didn't respond. She didn't need to. She knew what she had to do. By midnight, Pam was standing in front of a nondescript building in Arlington, Virginia. She'd called in every favor she had to get this far. The building was owned by a shell company, but she'd traced it back to one of the contractors Halbridge had been investigating. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. The interior was sleek and modern, a stark contrast to the warehouse. She moved quickly, her footsteps echoing in the empty halls. And then she found it. A room filled with monitors, each one displaying a different feed, surveillance footage from across the city. And in the center of the room was Halbridge, alive, but barely. He looked up as she entered, his eyes wide with relief. "Bondi," he croaked. "Thank God." She didn't have time to respond. The door slammed shut behind her, and the lights went out. She heard footsteps, then a voice. "You shouldn't have come here." She turned, her heart pounding. "Who are you?" The voice laughed. "Someone who knows what you're capable of, but you're not ready for this." The lights came back on, and the room was empty. Halbridge was gone. Pam stood there, her mind racing. This wasn't over. Not even close. By dawn, Pam was back in her office, the events of the night replaying in her mind. She'd called the FBI, but she knew they wouldn't find anything. Whoever was behind this was too smart, too connected. This wasn't just about Halbridge. This was about power. And Pam had just stepped into the lion's den. Deidre walked in, her face pale. "You okay?" Pam nodded. "Yeah, but this is bigger than I thought. Way bigger." Deidre sat down across from her. "What are you going to do?" Pam leaned back in her chair, her eyes fixed on the ceiling. "I don't know, but I'm not backing down. Not now," Deidre sighed. "You know this could get ugly, right?" Pam smiled faintly. "It already is. The story doesn't end here. It's just beginning. And the question remains, what would you do if you found yourself in Pam's shoes? Would you keep digging, even if it meant risking everything? Or would you walk away, knowing some truths are too dangerous to uncover? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you think this story deserves a part 2, share it, because sometimes the truth isn't just inconvenient, it's deadly.